It's Cougar Sports Saturday.
Bear inside the 5. Bear into the end zone. It's a touchdown.
Cougar Sports Saturday, a presentation of KSL Sports.
Rob Wright the third. Just won it for BYU.
BYU Sports Talk by Cougar fans for Cougar fans. Here are your hosts, Mitch Harper and Nate Slack, on your legacy home of the Cougars. KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Good afternoon, Cougar Nation. Welcome on into Cougar Sports Saturday on this August 8th. 4 weeks away from today, BYU football will kick off the 2026 season right here on KSL News Radio as BYU has a highly anticipated year coming up, and we're technically in the thick of football season, even though it doesn't quite feel like football yet, but practices are underway, and that's always an exciting time of the year. Mitch Harper, Nate Slack with you. Nate, I know you have had a wild 24 hours. We won't get into all of that in the real life world that you've been dealing with, but how's your week been going?
It's been going pretty good, Mitch. Anytime there's football on the docket, I'm happy. I was a little bummed. I had to miss the NFL Hall of Fame game on Thursday night. So my son is playing T-ball, so game started up this week. It's really hot, and especially when you're trying to herd a bunch of toddlers,
that's tough.
It's a little bit tough. We went to the Bees game after his game on Thursday, so I had to miss that one. But man, it's my favorite time of the year. I was looking at the forecast over the next 10 days. The temperature's going to be dropping a little bit, so maybe that kiss of fall. So it's all fun here, man.
Hey, that's a good point. On day one of camp, it was a little bit cooler temperatures. It was BYU's practicing in the morning during fall camp, but it was high 70s, low 80s. It felt great. And let's dive into day one as BYU wraps up week one of BYU fall camp and the Cougar Pulse.
The biggest story that gets to the heart of BYU fans. It's the Cougar Pulse.
Week one of BYU fall camp is a wrap. Cougars are gearing up for the upcoming season with fall camp practices, and unlike last year where there was so much intrigue with the quarterback battle, honestly, Nate, there's not many battles. When I asked Kalani Sitake on day one, what's the most heated battle in camp, and Kalani did a very Kalani answer, and I kind of teed it up for that, honestly, when I look back on the way I worded the question. But he's like, well, they're all heated. It was, we're in the heat of the sun, but there's not many just glaring battles for this team. It's a pretty well-known commodities around this roster, yet it's still kind of a case of sharpening the iron to get ready for the battles in the fall.
Yeah, and that's a different aspect that is this year compared to last year's, because even I think the biggest question mark position-wise the receiver room, but it doesn't feel like there's really a battle for the receiver room. It's just who's going to rise to the top, but it doesn't feel like it's a competitive who's going to be starting, who's going to be getting reps, because it feels like there's still going to be, you'll have your starting three, but then beyond that, wide receiver in 4 and 5 are still going to get a lot of playing time. So it's a little bit different, but it's also reassuring because there's a lot of confidence for this year's team. And in the past, there's been a lot of comments from Kalani saying things like, you guys don't know now, but you're going to find out.
Like, they don't know, but they're about to find out.
And even during media day that season in 2024, he was telling the media, you guys don't know the talent we have on this team. You guys don't know what we're going to be able to accomplish this season, but you're going to see it on the field. And so it sounds like he's had a bit of a different tone this year.
Well, and that tone is definitely different. I'll tell you this, and you know BYU football as well as anyone, Nate. Have you ever heard a BYU head coach say comments like this?
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. Obviously, I'm really excited for day one. We definitely have a faster team, so I like the team speed, and then the connection. It's just good. You can see the continuity that we had from last year. It's rolling over. So the momentum on all three phases, even with some new guys there like Justin Enna with the special teams, just really happy what he's done, from January to now. And then K-Pop's done a great job with the defense. And so the transition's been really, really good going into fall camp. And I think looking at what A-Rod's done with the offense and having Tyler there with him at the quarterbacks, it's been really nice. And it's good to have some healthy guys back to go.
Nate, is BYU fast in 2026?
Who'd ever thought that BYU would be in the Big 12 and then Kalani's like, we got speed. We got speed. And not just speed, because these guys are big too, Mitch. I was looking at some of the videos from Tuesday's or Wednesday's practice, and LJ Martin looks like he's put on a bit of weight. I know he said that he slimmed down a little bit and he's looking really good. But, man, he looked big, he looked strong, and that's exactly what this football team needs. Because in the past, BYU's had a lot of teams where they have one or two guys who really stand out, but they haven't had like the full collection of every position group. Just looks like they're stacked. I mean, this is a team, Mitch, where I feel like the floor for the season is probably going to be 10 wins. That's what it feels like right now. I know things can change given injuries, and you never know exactly who's going to rise up and be one of the top teams in the Big 12, because the last couple of years it's seemed to be that way. But right now, it feels like BYU. You got to take Kalani at his word. BYU is a speedy team. They're fast, but they're also big. They're strong. They're a confident bunch, and I think that's going to have a lot of the good things to bode for this year.
Well, I was thinking about who would be those fastest guys on the team. Evan Johnson, probably at the top of the list, starting cornerback for the Cougars, first team All Big 12 preseason selection, next to Bryce Pollock at Texas Tech, one of the best cornerbacks in the Big 12 this year. I think he's one, if not the fastest guy. You've got Kevin Doe, another cornerback. He's a speedster. I mean, BYU's got a lot of talent. Kedu Luave at linebacker, he's going to be a superstar for BYU defensively, one of the fastest players on this team. From the offensive side, Roger Saliapaga, he's got a lot of speed to his game. He could be that inline tight end for BYU in this scheme. Big expectations for the former Oregon Duck who comes into BYU, 6'4", 235 pounds, and he moves like a wide receiver. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm just banking on the tight ends to mask the questions at wide receiver. We'll get to that wide receiver room a little bit, but you go up and down this roster, and if you look at it with a fine comb, I mean, there is a lot of speed. This is a different-looking BYU team and roster than really I can remember. And again, watching on Wednesday the third team snaps, because again, we saw like 8 minutes tops. It broke my heart, because I was like, I think back to the days when I'm just watching an entire practice, and it's like now we've been shrunk to 8 minutes. Why can't college football continue to adapt more to the NFL model like they're trying to do in every other aspect? Why do they not do it in practices where the NFL is so open with their things? But I digress. The roster looks really good, Nate, and there's a lot of talent on this field. In that third team unit that we see, there were some guys that I would say, 10, 12 years ago in the independent years, they would have been probably some of the top players on the roster, and now they're third-team guys. BYU has really leveled up its talent pool, and now they got to see if that, is good enough to potentially week after week to put them in a position to reach all the goals that they have this season.
Yeah, and I think they're in a good spot right now. Even another guy, Legend Glasker, the freshman receiver, there's been a lot of talk about him. He was clocked at a 4.42 laser 40 at the Under Armour All-American Camp earlier this year. So he's a speedy guy. It was also cool to hear Kalani talk about how much farther ahead the team is this year compared to last year.
We're way further ahead than we were last year, and so that's a good sign. And even with the new guys that have come in, they just, you can't even tell that they're new anymore. I mean, in the spring, you can see getting used to different terminology. With guys like Cade, and it's hadn't been a problem. Those guys you can tell that the guys worked really hard in the off season. They worked really hard in the summer, and it's paid off a lot. And so practice one, you got to stay humble and stay hungry and just keep working hard. But we're going to utilize all the time that we have from now until game one. And with practice one out of the way, I can't wait to watch the film. I'm really excited about what we did today.
I think there is a reason for a lot of excitement with this BYU team. Again, week one now in the rearview mirror. Haven't had any media availability since day one, which a bit of a bummer, because it would have been nice to get a couple more observations or just interviews and comments to kind of see if they continue to stack those good days for this BYU team. But a lot of buzz and excitement, and one of the big pieces to this program this year is going to be year one for defensive coordinator Kelly Papinga. Let's hit on him. next here on Cougar Sports Saturday, and it's powered by KSL Sports.